Welcome to Trump's tremendous tariff liberation day. We're going to be discussing the latest surrounding the tariff news, how it's impacting the markets, and much more today on Money Never Sleeps. Thanks for joining us today, everybody. As we get going, do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Remember, nothing we say is financial advice, so please do your own research. Kev, in about an hour, the speech in the Rose Garden will begin. Trump still haven't finalized all of their tariff stuff. It's coming down to the wire, and you're seeing it in the markets as is relatively flat across the board. Small gains in the major indexes between 0.14% and 0.23%. So the after hours are going to get interesting. The crypto market is going to be an indication for how things are going to start off tomorrow. So a lot to look at here. We also have some jobs data to discuss and how that is going to impact the Fed's decision. But how are you doing today, and where are you focused as we hit the halfway point in the week?
Yeah, thanks for asking how I'm doing. Hope you're doing well as well. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm sorry. Just lost my complete train of thought. My Wi-Fi was like acting up, and I was just like, "What the fuck did this guy just say?" Anyways, I have an idea what you said. So yes, I'm doing great. I think that we're going to be at a very very volatile. Obviously, whatever happens with these tariffs. That's what I was trying to say. It's like they're not sure what they're doing. It's like doing your homework on the school bus before school starts. It's literally what it feels like. There's no direction in what they're doing here. Now Canada's like saying, "Oh, if you guys don't do it to us, we won't do it to you." And it's like it's just coming down to the wire. This is just such a global shit show. Outside of that, my focus has been on the IPOs. Those have been going absolutely insane. I did not buy a single stock, but continuing to see IPOs trade the way that they have. Newsmax, WTF. There's a couple of other ones that are out there right now that are just ripping straight up. I mean, in a time of low liquidity, high volatility, and low market volume, that when has this ever been a recipe for anything but disaster?
Yeah, the Newsmax one, I mean, you just look at that. That just looked like a pump and dump. And then it gave
Worth
back
more than
like
Fox.
50% today. And it's just like an absolute, like, what are we even doing here? Let's talk through some of the jobs data and the impact that had. We saw Tuesday, the job openings report came in slightly under expectation, still showing 7.1 or 7.6 million jobs open. Expectation was 7.7. We saw private sector employment today come in about 20%, almost 30% actually, higher than expectation. The thought was 120,000 jobs would be added. It was 155. On that news, the CME futures down to a 12.5% probability of a rate cut at the next meeting. Got up to about 19% yesterday, but that news brought it back down. Looking ahead to future meetings, seeing the possibility of also skipping a rate cut in June, go about 10% today. So now they're only forecasting about 60% chance of at least one rate cut by the June meeting. So a lot of implications there. And then obviously what's going to happen, is anyone's guess here in the Rose Garden in about an hour. If a deal is met at the last second to postpone tariffs with Canada, with Mexico, markets are gonna rip. If Trump comes out and he sounds combative and, hey, these tariffs are going into effect and they're going to be 10, 20, 30%, and there's going to be reciprocal tariffs and whatever other kind, then we're going to see crypto take a dump. We're going to see the after hours equities take a dump. It's going to be very volatile over the next hour. I don't play with leverage. That's not my jam. But now, I mean, you're really gambling here if you're going into the close and into this 4 o'clock Trump speech with long or short positions. I mean, it could get unless unless you have insider information and you know exactly what's going to happen, and then you can just print money. But I am not one of the people who has that, so I'm just going to sit here and patiently observe.
Yeah, Eric Trump hasn't tweeted at all, so I don't know what's going to happen today. Um, that being said, this is going to be, I mean, it really is going to be a bit of a shit show because again, these tariffs are supposed to go in at 12:01 tomorrow at Eastern Standard Time. So, I mean, it's very possible that you get some. It could even go to the wire later tonight, right? It can go till 10 p.m. DC time. Even 11:59 at that point. And once it does, then we're looking at a whole different scenario for what's going on now. The Fed rate cuts being the probability is going down. I kind of agree with that for the time being. I also think that there is a possibility that we'd get a small bump in the markets. Again, we'll look at that in a second. But I think that all we really need, and I think we'll go out on a limb and say that at one of the two meetings that we're getting next, we probably will get at least a 25 basis point cut. There is going to need to be some type of juice, some type of liquidity that comes into the markets because I don't believe that the market downturn is quite done. I think there is still a pretty good move to the downside that we still that has to be had. Question is, does that happen now or is this going to all, come to bite us in the ass later on in the year? But that's just kind of my thoughts on what we're looking at. We're in stagflation mode. That's not a good thing either. That's something that you and I have been talking about for a while as well. And it just seems like literally every indicator is confirming that we are in a period of stagflation, right? The data is contradicting things that we would expect to be recessionary. It still is recessionary. It's just that we're seeing people lose their jobs, except for apparently the private sector, like we saw today. And the price of goods is not necessarily coming down. In some ways, they're still kind of squeezing the prices of goods to the upside. That's why we have hot PCE. What was it? What was the other one that we had? PPE that came in pretty bad last time too. We're going to continue to see that. We're seeing it not just in the U.S. too; it's in the global markets. We're still seeing it in Europe. We're still seeing it in Japan. So this is a really sticky time. Anything could really happen based off of what happens today. It's just something's going to break it, and I think this is a wonderful opportunity to see that that break, and we get that Fed cut maybe.
When the levee breaks, my man. All right. What else? Later this week, we're not going to do a Friday show. I'm going to be out with my little guy on a field trip. So no Friday show. There will be a jobs report that morning. And I know, Kevin, you are anxiously awaiting April 6th, April 7th. We're approaching that point with OPEX and, you're seeing Bitcoin, today. Right? Like, yeah, we're hanging out right in this area of, make or break time for a lot of things. What else, anything new since we talked on Monday over in the Asian markets that you feel like is worth noting, or do you want to go look at some of the charts?
With what's going on in Asia, it's very complicated. You're not getting the bounce in the Nikkei, but at the same time, you're getting the when. Man, I can't speak for shit today. The yen, the whole thing that I've been talking about for like 2 years, the yen carry trade. Yeah, that thing. The yen is getting weaker.
Thing.
Yeah, that little thing. That thing's gonna be barking.
Don't worry about that little thing.
Exactly. Be more afraid of that than Godzilla coming out of Japan. The thing about the yen carry trade right now is that the yen is getting weaker as the Nikkei is actually dropping. But I did bring it up on the bonds. Let's pull up the 3-month U.S. Treasury. There's been some wild moves that have been going on there. Let me just get out of this. Yeah, this is a wonderful chart. So you're going to see the Treasury, on 3-month Treasuries. This is kind of the volatility that we've seen recently. Yes, that's an actual chart, guys. What we're seeing here was on Tuesday, so that would have been, I guess that is Tuesday in Asia as well. It was during the Asian market hours, Japan. As soon as it opened up, you just saw the 3-month just go absolutely parabolic. What does that mean? People are offloading their debt. They're offloading the U.S. debt because they need cash on hand. They might have taken a pretty good loss, but that went up 12. I believe it was 12%, or it shot up. Let's see. It was an insane amount how much they shot up. Yeah, just about 12%. So
that's
it's
crazy.
Really, yeah, and it was in a matter of minutes. I mean, let's go to the 15-minute, maybe.
There's a couple.
It's somewhere over here, guys. Actually, maybe I've gone too far. That's September. Where the hell was it? There it is. Yeah, you can see that it's in one 15-minute candle. It gapped up, shot all the way up here. So that means as soon as the market opened, they just absolutely started selling. Next thing you know, it's starting to come down. Obviously, it's kind of restabilized. If you continue to see that, people are just trying to get cash on hand. It tells you that we're in a bit of a liquidity crisis, that people can't necessarily get the cash on hand to pay off that debt. It's going to be kind of the theme for the entire year. So I'm not surprised if we see that a few more times. Given what's happening today, there's two scenarios. Obviously, the tariffs go into effect. The yen starts to get stronger. I mean, the dollar's even pulling back a little bit today. Nothing too crazy. Let's pull this up on the daily. It's a little bit easier to see. But you can see this red candle we're getting on the daily for the dollar. I think short term, we could see this get weaker, yen get stronger. That's the yen carry trade unwinding. And then obviously, I think the dollar long term, given what we're looking at for the rest of the year, we're looking at something pretty parabolic, probably hugging this curve, if not moving a lot higher, a lot faster. Let's see where this bottoms out. But this is important because when we look at the time horizons for when this yen carry trade could unwind, I keep saying the 6th into the 7th. If we get some type of deal today and markets are really reactive, proactive and happy about what we get, then you're going to probably see that push to post OPEX. So that would be after the 17th. So right after Easter, the day after Easter, then you'd probably see some type of window where the markets could get really bad. I do think that we are going to see something happen in April. There's just a lot of uncertainty out there. Once we get that clarity today, it kind of tells us, all right, what's the next move? We could still get that bit of a face melter rally. I'm not sold on it, but I just want to pull up one thing on the S&P. And again, this is all kind of correlated. Just to go through the charts real quick. You have some gaps here. This is an ABC corrective pattern. This is one thing that not a lot of people are talking about. I think that we might be in one. Question is, what happens if we start pushing above, 5,800? We're not in this pattern. We're in a very different one. But if we are unable to push above that 5,800 level and we're just staying below it and we're just filling these gaps, then we probably still have a ways to go, probably 8 or 9% down from where we currently are. Let's see what that would be. Maybe like, I'll be nice. I'll say 6 to like 10%. Bit of a wider range, but there is some levels there. The S&P is just filling gaps at this point. We got a gap right here that still hasn't been filled. We filled one today, I believe. Not in the S&P, might have been the NASDAQ. But actually, no, it was today. Yeah, we did. It was this one right here. We have a little bit higher to go. There's a pretty good one there. But, if we're unable to keep pushing up, then we're just going to keep rolling over. Probably going to enter a wave 3 of this the C wave, and that means we're probably gonna have a really good move to the downside, probably to like that 53 to 5200 level in the S&P. So lots of stuff to be looking out there. Let's look at some other charts, get some ideas. That's just kind of the whole run through of what's going on in Asia. Should we look at some of the IPOs just to see how ridiculous they are?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go to WTF, which I didn't know about or what this is until last night, but it's apparently Watton Financial Limited, WTF, wonderful ticker name. But yeah, look at this thing. It's absolutely straight up in the first few hours. Once it got to Wednesday, market open, straight down, right? It's kind of funny to see this because that means we shot up about 365% in one day. And then the next day we are, let's say, about down 62%. Very volatile. I mean, a lot of volumes to come in and buy, coming down. I wouldn't expect IPOs to honestly do well here. If they are doing well, it tells me that maybe they're trying to get ahead. So whatever liquidity that they can get before the market kind of decides where this thing will probably be trading, it's fair market value trade post whatever type of headwinds that they're going to be facing. And I say that because, I mean, if you have this much market cap that's just thrown onto you, obviously, you are going to take profits if you think that the market is going to reverse. This thing filled the gap. This is Newsmax. Absolutely insane how high this shot up. And again, if you guys know what Newsmax is, it's probably a third-rate cable. It's a I would say right-wing news media source. The funny thing though is yesterday this thing was worth more than Fox Corporation. Most of you guys don't even have this on your YouTube TV or anything like that. It's very specialized where this can be streamed. Aside from that, it shot all the way up to about 1,800%, $250 from where it opened on the IPO. Today, it is down about 79%. So if you bought the top of that, RIP.
Yeah.
But this is just, well, it's so wild to see these IPOs come out this week. There's another one. It's CoreWeave, right? That one we talked about last time. Uh, it's had a really good run up in the past few hours. Or what was this? Since yesterday. Yesterday's actually been, the IPO on Friday was bad, and then it just completely reversed to the upside. Liquidity being pulled in. This thing is currently at about a $26 billion market cap. It's very possible that this thing does what the others have done, and it's a huge drop. Primarily, if you see a big drop in Nvidia, this thing's probably going to eat a lot of shit. But these IPOs have just started off crazy. They pulled back. I don't know, man. I think there's just a lot of liquidity that they're just trying to grab from this market in any way possible. Especially seeing what we saw with the treasury bills, 3 months. We're probably going to see some other shorter term ones. This market really is just thirsty for some cash, some liquidity, and it's not getting it.
Yeah, I mean, these IPOs have the same charts as a lot of meme coins these days, like just absolute fire. I mean, Newsmax this is just too funny, man. Like eating so much shit. Down under 57 now, down, $176 down on the day. It's a really good time to be patient and to go enjoy spring and not being, glued to the computer trying to catch every new hot thing to make a quick buck. Like that is getting people absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, or just invest in things that you believe in too, right? And then just don't worry about anything. Like,
yeah,
I don't have a worry in the world right now, and obviously I have a position in the market when I think that it's not necessarily a good time to be in the market for equities, but I don't have a worry in the world. People who are buying, these trying to make that quick buck, same thing with people who are going to be trying to trade on leverage today with Bitcoin. I mean, good luck, guys. This is not the market that you want to be trading in. Never short. What is it? Damn, I don't know. I haven't shorted anything in so long. I can't remember the phrase, but it was like never short a dull market. There we go. Man, it was driving me insane there for a second. Because when volatility does kick in, it's going to play both sides. And it's going to absolutely destroy longs and shorts. And honestly, there hasn't been a better time for that to happen than I think right now. Outside of that, I'm looking at some of the things that are happening in the market right now. Nothing too crazy. Nvidia. Again, this isn't necessarily a great pattern. I'm looking at this right now on the daily. You're still pretty oversold coming out of it. Hit the double bottom right here on this trend line. Something happens, you're not able to push higher than like 123, then guys, that's just going to be another rollover, and it's probably going to lose it at this point. And you're looking at like 96 or so, even as much as like $82 a share. So that's a pretty big move from where we currently are. That would probably be 24%. It's down 12 to 24%. So big moves on that. Tesla, it shot up earlier on the fact that Elon Musk was going to be stepping down from Doge. Now they're saying, the White House is saying that those reports are false. It shot up like 3%. I mean, it's still up 4.05% right now. But this isn't too convincing. Maybe you push up a little bit higher and that's your ABC, but I think this one is another rollover. I'm trying to see if there's any gaps. I don't see any on this side. So you might be done with the move fairly soon. Microsoft, yeah, breaking this. This was a perfect trade. Just broke right from that parallel channel. Meta, you're going to probably lose that. You're probably coming down to fill some of these gaps. There's a lot of gaps that will be filled probably in the next few months. Not too much to look on that today. Let's go into crypto. Bitcoin breaking out of our channel. Were we wrong, Jweb? Is this thing going up a lot higher? Sorry, I think my internet just tweaked out. All right, either Jweb's internet just tweaked out or mine did. I can't tell. So
I don't know. Ask me in an hour after Trump has started talking. Like
I feel like this is like the swirly face right now from Scary Movie 3. I literally can't see Jweb's face. It's just a big swirl on your face, dude. Question is, whose internet's actually bugging out right now? It's a fair shot that it might be mine, but I don't know. I do not know. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen real quick. I'm gonna hop out and I'll be right back. I think it's me, but we'll see. Are we any better? Are we back? Yeah, bro. I don't
You
know what
got
it
me?
was. Your face,
It's my internet too. Yeah, I
and then
don't
I
know
was
what's
just
going
like,
on.
"Oh shit!" Fucking now my trading view wasn't even working, so I was like, "Okay." I think it was a VPN problem for me. I'm glad we're back. Pull up Bitcoin again. Man, what a shit show with internet, bro. We're supposed to live in a good country with fucking like high speed internet. And this shit's just like, nah.
A disaster. No. Yeah, I mean, has it broken out of that channel? I
Weekly.
don't. We'll see where it closes
Yeah.
on the day.
We get these a lot, right? We break out of them and then they just get set right back. You got a few wicks above it here, drop right back down. This is the concern thing. That's why it's hard to tell if it's going to be April 6th, 7th, or if it's going to be post OPEX for April. It's because you're getting closer and closer to this apex. I keep saying climax. My mind is not in the right place right now.
Get it together, Kevin. Get it
Well,
together.
we're all going to get fucked in a few minutes. So it's either going to be straight longs or straight shorts. Right here at this apex, it's going to absolutely decide. I think it's to the downside, but is this going to be foretelling what happens to TradFi, in say a week or two after? Could Bitcoin lead? It's led in the past some of the larger market moves. I think it's very possible that's a scenario. I'm also more of on the line of just like hedging to the idea that there's a good chance we could do a little fake out here because obviously the stochastic RSI is extremely low still relative to where it's been recently. Volumes are still somewhat low. I think that we could close above it, and then tomorrow is just absolute shit. Once it hits 12:01 Eastern Standard Time, I wouldn't be surprised. Or if Asia just starts to liquidate a lot of things, right? I mean, everything could fall apart tonight. We really don't know. It's very possible. With this though, I don't think our thesis, our ideas of what's going to happen with Bitcoin have changed. I still think that we're going much lower. I was looking at it the other day. I'm like, should I pull a Bitcoin short out right now? And I was really wondering if I should because I haven't shorted anything in such a long time. I haven't touched crypto in over a year. And I was wondering, I'm like, this looks like a perfect opportunity to do it. The market's just kind of telling you like, hey, this is where we're chopping through. We're going to get closer and closer to this date, and eventually it's going to break one way or the other. Not saying the short that's right now, but I'm saying that this is a very tempting level for me personally. Outside of that, we're looking at the rest of the crypto market. It's kind of just boring, man. I think crypto has been one of the most boring asset classes for the past month or two. So ever since we had that crypto symposium thing at the White House, it's just been absolute shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I actually hate looking at crypto. Sometimes I'll pull up my trading view and I'll look at it and I'll just look at it. I'm like, why am I looking at this? This is fucking same ass shit that it was yesterday. It has not been fun to look at this crypto stuff. The other thing that I was looking at too right here, just on the side of my trading view, USDT dominance is kind of increasing here. You bounce. Usually when you bounce off this trend line, it's the top of the market. We might have the top of the market already put in for crypto if this continues to rise. Obviously, if it continues to rise, that means that the broader market is selling off. So it's another metric that you kind of want to take into account given where we are right now and what we're expecting for the rest of the year. Doesn't mean that it can't come back down and retest it. It's just right now, I think if we look at the weekly and the monthly is a little bit overbought, but the monthly, I believe, is actually the monthly is getting pretty close to overbought as well. Very interesting given how little the price has actually moved. That could be also how much money is in the asset class now because of the TradFi. But back in the past when you were overbought, you were all the way at the top, which would have been the market bottom. So it actually has been a less volatile market in terms of the macro for crypto. based off of this chart than we have experienced being in the actual assets themselves. So I would expect this thing to either come back and test this, which means that maybe we have a little bit more room to the upside if we do get a correction. If not, you're going probably places you've never been before. You're probably looking at like 12% stablecoin dominance. Imagine what that would be, what the entire crypto market would look like at that. That would be the all-time high up here. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if this thing holds true, that's a potential target that you could be looking at by, say, May of 2026.
I was just looking. You mentioned how boring crypto has been. So Bitcoin down just under 8% on the year. Meanwhile, gold up 19% on the year. So just Peter. This is the year of Peter Schiff, I guess. He's winning, and I'm getting handed L's left and right.
Peter Schiff, he's talking mad shit about my GameStop position. Says that we should be paying off our debt. Sorry, Peter. GameStop doesn't have debt. It has $6.2 billion in cash. It has a $9.7 billion market cap. Imagine how much of its market cap is just in cash sitting on hand. You tell me of a company that's going to survive a recession, it's going to be GameStop, Peter. Your gold is fucked the second that they do the first rate cut. You know what? I will say that right here. The first rate cut that we get, that's going to be gold's descent 50% down. That's where I think gold's going. I think it's a 50% drop in gold coming. Everyone who is a jeweler, everyone that is a Peter Schiff fanboy right now, because gold has been kicking ass 19% up on the year, get fucked come, what year is it right now? 2025? 2028, gold will be 50% down. Peter will be accumulating. I probably still will not own any gold just because, I don't know, there's no pawn shops near me. So I have no need for gold. I think I'd rather have GameStop stock. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You can tell I'm tired. It's the end of the week. I've got like 2 hours of sleep. Probably going to go to sleep. I'm not even going to make up this Rose Garden meeting. I'm good if you're good, man.
Let's wrap it up right there.
I feel like I took a hit of fucking oxygen right now.
Well, we appreciate those of you who joined us today. We'll be back on Monday to see the latest in the markets. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. Appreciate you all. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the volatility. Have some fun. And we will see you guys next time. Love you guys.
Good luck, everyone. Take care.